Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sincerely Self Podcast. My name is Lexi. How are we all doing? I have the camera set up a little weird and I cannot tell how it looks. Hello? I can't tell how it looks. So, fingers crossed I'm in frame and you can see me if you're watching the YouTube. If you're not watching the YouTube, you guys, please, I beg of you, go and hop onto the YouTube. You want to know why? Because the YouTube just hit 100 subscribers. Yes, that's right. I'm really bad with YouTube, social media, ah, and the podcast. I don't know why. I just can't seem to get it together in those aspects. But Instagram, I'm getting better at. YouTube, I need to get better at posting the reels, but I do post a video every single week for the podcast. So I am doing that at least. Hey, I'm doing that at least. Also, tell me what you guys think about this. Please comment it down wherever you're listening to this episode. What do we think about if I did TikTok lives? What do we think about that? Or like streams, or I don't know. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. What do we think of that? Because I think it would be so fun to just like have a little hangout. I think that would be really awesome. So please give me your insight on that. Give me your feedback on that. All right. I also have decided I'm going to try and do a solo episode every 3 to 4 episodes because, hey, we've been blessed and we've been able to have guests almost every single week since February, since the podcast has started kind of doing really good. So I'm going to take a little solo break because I do love to have these little sit downs with you guys. We have so many people who are now joining us, and I want you guys to know my personality. I want you guys to know me as well. And because that's how it started, was just with me. And I am so blessed and so happy for all the amazing guests we have on. Everyone I have on the podcast, I genuinely look up to. But it's always fun where you guys get to just know me and sit with me. And, maybe I'm a hog. Maybe I'm just hogging you guys. But let's give a little rundown. I also like to give a little rundown whenever we do a solo episode of just kind of what's going on with me. So, the last time I did a little rundown, I think it was around my birthday back in February. So, quite a bit has happened there. We're almost to 500,000 streams, you guys. We're almost to 500,000 streams. And that is so insane to me because we hit 1,000 streams only in January. And yeah, only in January. So the fact that we're at almost 500,000 now is so insane to me. And I love to do just little check-ins on how I'm doing like mentally and with my healing journey because it's a lifelong thing, you know what I mean? And right now I feel like I'm in a period of uncertainty, specifically growing through an uncertainty. And my boyfriend gave me that phrase actually because I feel like it's just a great way to explain it. I within the last few weeks, I got a new job offer for a job that I've been wanting for like the last year. Me and my boyfriend just got approved for a place that we can get together. There's just so many new opportunities that are coming in that I'm almost having this like imposter syndrome. Does that make sense? I'm in this place where I'm feeling these are all the things that I've been wanting for a while, and now that they're coming into fruition, it feels so weird. It like doesn't feel real. It's like I can't like connect with it. And so I've been struggling with growing through the uncertainty, deciding if these big changes are right for me, right for where I'm at right now. I feel like I talk a lot about following your inner guide and following your intuition and that inner compass. And it's like, what is that? And what is me just being manic? Or what is that and me just like being impulsive? And so I wanted to talk a lot about that this episode because I love to talk about things that I'm personally experiencing as well and genuinely giving you guys feedback on things that I have noticed, things that I've read, things that I've heard, but specifically things that I've applied into my life as well. So, without further ado, that's a little rundown of everything with me. I am ready. Let's dive on into this topic. If you're driving, hey, lock in, keep driving, please. If you're not driving, I hope you're doing something fun, something self-care. Maybe you're working. I listen to podcasts while I'm working. Maybe you're just chilling in bed. I'm so glad that you decided to spend this time with me. If you have not, really quickly, if you have not, please make sure that you go and follow the socials and for the podcast so then you can be up to date for all of the guests we have. I post clips of the guests. And please let me know what you guys think. I want to do another sincerely advice soon where you guys anonymously submit questions to me about things in your life, situations going on, people, you want a second opinion, you want advice, you can ask me and I will give it to you. So, but we haven't done a sincerely advice in a long time. I think it's been almost a year, honestly. So, if that's something you guys would be interested in doing for the next like solo episode that I do, please let me know. Comment down below on wherever you are listening to this episode. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible. This podcast is available wherever, actually. So you can be commenting literally wherever you're listening to it, and I will see it. So let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. Without further ado, let's dive right into this topic. So the first thing that I want to touch on kind of with growing in uncertainty is noticing kind of the signs. I think once you start becoming more aware and you start kind of realizing what it is you want, what it is you don't want, realizing that your thoughts kind of create your reality, becoming just aware as a person. I feel like that's when things kind of start falling apart. You lose that relationship, you get fired from that job, you get kicked out of that apartment, you lose that friendship, you have something that happens that you're like, hello, what? And it usually, well, it always ends up being for your better good. But in the moment, it feels life altering, life crashing. But in the long run, it's aligning you with something that you wanted. It's putting you on that path to get to what you want. Going from point A, where you're at right now, you want to get to point C, your goals, the highest version of you. What is point B? What does that consist of? And how do you get through it? And that's what I want to talk about in this episode, that uncertainty period, that having to trust yourself period, because that has got to be the hardest thing ever, is learning to trust yourself and learning when it's anxiety, when it's intuition. The identifiers I have noticed and that I've read about and that I've heard from guests that we've had on and that I've felt personally, the indicators of it being more of your highest self, your intuition, if you will, guiding you about something. When it's anxiety, you'll kind of feel it more in your chest. If it's like a manic decision, you'll feel it more in your chest. But it will just feel right. You may not know how you're going to get there, but when you are thinking about this thing or this outcome, you feel at peace. You don't know how you're going to get there. You don't know that point B, but you feel at ease and at peace. So I'm going to use just kind of what I'm going through as an example. I have this job right now. I get a job offer for a job that I've been wanting, but do I just quit this job that I've had that I'm comfortable with and go into this new field that I haven't done before? Yeah, because it feels right for me. Even though it's scary because it's new, I feel like the hardest part of making that jump is as people, we're conditioned to want to stick with the things that feel safe and the things that feel familiar. But really, the growth period comes when you jump into that uncertainty, into that unfamiliar place. That's when things are able to change. Staying comfortable means you're also staying the same. And some people like that. Some people like staying the same and living the same thing, but you're never going to grow as a person. If you stay in the same place, stay doing the same thing, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to try new things. And those new things end up being the best the best things that could have happened to you. So, I'm going to tell you guys a little story about what I did last summer. And I've touched on this a little bit before, but last summer I went and I lived in California and I sold solar. and it was something I'd never done before. I was living in a new state with a bunch of people I didn't know. I was living with my boyfriend too, but it was a very uncertain, unfamiliar, scary situation for me. And I felt like that's where I needed to be. And then the situation did not end up how I anticipated. I did not make as much money as I thought I would. I was living in situations that I did not think I would. I was living in a garage at one point, you guys. And so I get out of that situation and I'm like, what was I here for? I was so depressed while I was there. I was even sick for a long time as well. Lost a bunch of weight, like mentally struggling all the time while I was there. And so I'm like, what was this purpose? I didn't make the money. I didn't get what I wanted out of the situation. But now I look back and I gained so many skills that got me to where I am now. I gained really good social skills from having to do door to door. I gained being able to do hard work. I gained being able to level myself out in a situation that I'm not comfortable with. I learned speaking for myself and leaving things that I don't feel like are serving me. I learned so many skills while I was there, and not all of it was bad. Like I had like good experiences while I was out there. And so that's another beneficial thing. And even while I was out there was this crazy circumstance where a child who had autism and was nonverbal, which, if you don't know, I have worked with children with disabilities for about 5 years now. And so now I'm in door to door doing solar. This boy who has autism, I found this out after, and was nonverbal, comes running out of his house. He had like eloped from his house, and he was quick. His parents didn't realize yet, and he is running down the street, no shoes, no clothes, just a diaper on, little kid. And it was so scary. Me and my coworker Allie, luckily I was with someone. Usually I was just by myself. Me and her run and chase this kid onto like this highway and get him on the side so that he's not running into traffic. Some of the neighbors ended up helping us and we met them, and they were such cool people. And I had worked with children with disabilities. I immediately recognized that he was nonverbal. He was just repeating the same phrases, repeating what I was saying back to him, and he was just mimicking. And so I was able to, you know, figure out something that he liked. He liked the show Bluey. So I turned the show Bluey on for him. We were able to calm him down, get him some water until his mom was able to find us and he was able to go home. And that's just like kind of a random story for me to be telling you, but I tell you because if I would not have been there, I would not have been able to help. And that's not saying that like that boy would not have been helped. He probably would have, but it was just I was able to be placed in that situation. You know what I mean? And so now I look back and I'm like, there was a purpose for that. There was a reason I felt drawn to that, and I was able to trust my gut. And so I think it's easy. I think it's easy to have an experience and you felt drawn to it and it doesn't go the way that you planned. And so you question your judgment after that and you're like, why did I do that? Like, why did I do that? But there's always something you gained. I want to give another example, and I'm giving examples from my own life because I want you guys to know that I have learned these lessons and that this is the truth, you know what I mean? And that it works. Switching these mindset shifts, having these mindset shifts works. You're going to level up mentally and you will feel it. I swear to you, your reality is going to change. And that's why I'm sharing this information with you guys. I want you guys to unlock that next version of yourself. I want you guys to be able to unlock that mental shift because it is so incredible the way that you're going to level up. Like I'm telling you guys, I just got a new car. I just got a new job. Now I'm moving with my boyfriend after I had this mental shift. So that's why I'm sharing with you guys. Another one you could have is maybe you're put in a relationship and the relationship ends up being horrible. We've all had our fair share. And you wonder, why was I in this relationship? Think of what you learned from that relationship. For me, I have been in a couple bad relationships and I learned my boundaries. I learned ways that I do not want to be treated. I learned how to look out for the signs of a narcissistic partner or just an unhealthy relationship. I learned what things are not okay. I learned what my worth was from being treated not good. And it made me level up, and it forced me to treat myself the way that I wanted guys to treat me. And once I set that standard with myself, I was single for a long time, but it made my reality shift. I had this certain standard of men that were allowed to interact with me, and I was very, very strict with it after I had been done dirty because I knew my worth after that, and I knew what I did not want. Do you know what I mean? Switching that reality made it so the men who were trying to talk to me were more higher vibrational men. I was not aligned with any of these lower vibrational bums. Do you know what I mean? I was not on their vibration, you guys. They were not aligned with me. They couldn't even interact with me. And I still was picky, picky, picky. And then I met my boyfriend, and he absolutely leveled up so that we would be on the same vibration and we could continue to level up together. I'm telling you, when you set these standards and you learn these lessons, you switch this in your favor. That man treated you like shit. Okay. You learned that you're a baddie, and you learned that you do not want lame ass boys like that. You do not want to be with a lame ass boy, and you deserve a man. Another mindset shift that I think women need to have, or anyone needs to have, is that all men are bad. I have also had this mentality, you guys. I've grown up watching men cheat on literally every single woman I've been raised with, almost has been cheated on and done dirty by a man, and I've watched it. And so, yeah, that's going to be embedded in your brain. And guys kept cheating on me and not treating me right until I shifted my perspective. I kept telling myself, all men are horrible, all men are trash. And so that's what I was getting. All of your experiences are going to confirm these beliefs that you've set in your brain. And I had set that belief, and my reality was confirming it. As soon as I started believing that there were men that would worship the ground that you walked on, that would give you princess treatment, that would be dedicated to self worth, dedicated to leveling up, that's when I started seeing men who were. And they're rare. But once you believe that there are some out there, then you will start to see them. So, the first step to unlocking this mindset shift, I want you guys to go through and think of these experiences like the ones that I have told you. Think of these experiences of yours that you've had that are similar, or that you think of during this episode. Think on those and flip your mindset from negative to positive. What are the skills that you gained from this situation that didn't go your way? Or how did it go your way? How were you confirming your reality from your beliefs? You could even acknowledge, like, yeah, I was believing that all men were trash, and I got treated like trash from a man. That confirmed my reality. I'm not saying this in a way that you need to blame yourself, like, oh, that happened to me because of my thoughts, but I'm telling you this so you know that you can change it. Like, you have the power to shift that and make it different. And how powerful is that? You can change the experiences that you're having. Not to say that you'll never have a negative experience, but they will be few and far between, because everything is happening for you, not to you. Everything is happening for you. And once you fully believe that, you will see how everything is happening to guide you to the next place, and just follow what feels right. You don't know how you're going to get there, but you feel at peace when you think about it. And that's the mindset shift to unlock to get through this uncertain period. I would love for you guys to share your stories with me, either on Instagram, on TikTok. Comment them down below, whatever you want to do, share them with me. I would love that. I've had people DM me their experiences before, and it is so beautiful, or they comment them on the YouTube, and it is just so cool to see. So we have 2 more months left this summer. I would love to see you guys level up with, like, let's all level up before fall, before the end of this year. Let's be a completely new version of ourselves in completely new places that we would have never expected, because we're walking with our alignment. We're walking in our purpose. And it's the scariest, most uncertain path there is, but it's also the most rewarding. I will have all of my podcast socials linked in the description. I also have a website for Sincerely Self where you can see a little description of me and my story, all of the recent guests. You can see why I created the podcast. You can also reach out to me over email if you have any guests that you want on the show or any ideas that you want me to bring onto the show. I'm so glad that you guys are here, and I'm proud of you because listening to this episode, you're making a decision to level up and change your life. And that's the first step. That's the hardest step to make. The rest will flow. Once you believe that it'll flow, the rest will flow for you. And I will see you guys next week.